shoulder and held his arms out wide to take it all in. "You guess? This is your home. We're finally back. You're going to love it." His eyes shone in the reflection of the lanterns guiding the Beladarian ship into Crocodile Harbor, named for the monstrous lizards that had supposedly lived in the river centuries ago. Home. Touraine frowned. Love it? But we're not on leave. She dug half-moons into the soft, weather-worn wood of the railing and grumbled. "We have a job to do." Thibault scoffed. "To police our own people." The thunk of approaching boots on the deck behind them stopped Touraine from saying something that would keep Thibault from speaking to her for the rest of the day. Something like, "These aren't my people. How could they be?" Touraine had barely been toddling in the dust when Baladere took her. "You two better not be talking about what I think you're talking about," Sergeant Pruitt said, coming up behind them with her arms crossed. "Of course not," Touraine said. She and Pruitt let their knuckles brush in the cover of darkness. "Good. Because I'd hate to have to throw you bare fuckers overboard." Pruitt. The sensible one to Thibault's impetuousness, the scowl to his smile. The only thing they agreed on was hating Baladere for what it had done to them. But unlike Thibault, who was only biding his time before some imaginary revolution, Pruitt was resigned to the conscripts' fate and thought it better to keep their heads down and hate Baladere in private. Pruitt shoved her way between the two of them and propped her elbows on the railing. Her teeth chattered. "It's cold as a bastard here. I thought the desert was supposed to be hot." Thibault sighed wistfully, staring with longing at some point beyond the city. "Only during the day. In the real desert, you can freeze your balls off if you forget a blanket." "You sound oddly excited about that." Pruitt looked askance at him. Thibault grinned. Home was a sharp topic for every soldier in the Beladarian Colonial Brigade. There were those like Thibault and Pruitt, who had been taken from countries throughout the broken Chalan Empire when they were old enough to already have memories of family or the lack thereof. And then there were those like Touraine, who had been too young to remember anything but Baladere's green fields and thick forests. No matter where in the Chalan Empire the conscripts were originally from, they all speculated on the purpose of their new post. There was excitement on the wind, and Touraine felt it, too. The chance to prove herself, the chance to show the Beladarian officers that she deserved to be a captain. Change was coming. Even the Beladarian princess had come with the fleet. Pruitt had heard from another conscript who had it from a sailor that the princess was visiting her southern colonies for the first time, and so the conscripts took turns trying to spot the young royal on her ship. The order came to disembark, carried by shouts on the wind. Discipline temporarily disappeared as the conscripts and their Beladarian officers hoisted their packs and tramped down to Crocodile Harbor's thronged streets. People shouted in Beladarian and Chalan as they loaded and unloaded ships. Animals in cages and animals on leads squawked and bellowed, and Touraine walked through it all in a daze, trying to take it in. Ghazal's dirt and grit crunched beneath her army-issued boots. Maybe she did feel a spark of awe and curiosity. And maybe that frightened her just a little. With a whoomph, Touraine walked right into an odd tan horse with a massive hump in the middle of its back. She spat and dusted coarse fur off her face. The animal glared at her with large, affronted brown eyes and a bubble of spit forming at the corner of its mouth. The animal's master flicked his long gray streaked hair back off his smiling face and spoke to Touraine in Chalan.